So good afternoon. Good afternoon. Apologies for this being 6 hours late, but I was still up putting videos at about 3 o'clock this morning, 4 o'clock this morning. So I've not long been awake, but I'm back again, and I have just literally watched Mikel Arteta's post-match interview on BT Sport, and wow! If anybody hasn't seen it, go and check it out after this. It's on YouTube on BT Sport. Proud of the players. He thought they worked their socks off last night. It's not easy, was his words. It's not easy when a team of 11 players are all camped 20 yards out from their goal. Okay. Well, how did they have 12 shots then? How did they actually have 4 shots on target, which ironically is the same as us? 4 shots on target. I watched Aubameyang's interview as well straight after that, and you look knackered. I haven't long been up. I literally got up, jumped in the shower, and here I am. So I haven't even eaten yet. So I'm going to eat as soon as I've done this. This won't go on forever, by the way. But I will be back as normal 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and level 3 members will be getting their membership stream at 7 o'clock tonight as well. But yeah, I just watched Arteta's interview, and I was just sat there baffled. Like, I mean, last night I didn't really pin any blame on him. Yeah, I thought them players were a joke last night. You know, yes, he picks the players, I get that, but that team was good enough to go out there and beat Olympiacos. It's as simple as that. He was fuming all the way through the first half. He was shouting at players. He was telling them to do their jobs properly. But you have to question his substitutions and why it took so long to bring Martinelli on. That was the only thing I stuck on him last night, because if you pick that team, you'd expect that team to go out and beat them. And let's be real here, right? Apparently Ozil was world class. Apparently. Yeah, well, it was a world class jumping out the way. It was like he was scared of the ball when their first goal went in. Oh, no, the ball's coming. Oh, I better jump out the way and not track my runner. Then David Luiz closes his eyes and goes to head of the ball, and the geezer runs straight past him and scores. So I don't know what Ozil was doing. Hector Bellerin, who actually... Hector Bellerin. Yeah, people want this guy as captain. Yeah, just pack your suitcase and jog yourself on, mate. Yeah, Hector Bellerin. Yeah, where's Maitland-Niles? But anyway, listen, that's by the by. That team that started that game last night should have had the capabilities, regardless of how crap I think most of them are, they should have still beaten Olympiacos. Right, and like I said, Mikel Arteta put that team out there last night. And you could tell after about 5-10 minutes, they weren't on it. Them players were not on it. And it weren't just one of them not on it. You could go, okay, cool. Maybe Bellerin's not on it. Maybe Ozil's not on it. Maybe Xhaka's not on it. Yeah, maybe 1, 2 or 3 players. But still, we've got 7 outfield players that are on it. But for nearly every single one of them to not be on it, and then he comes out and says he's proud of the players. I know he's got to keep them going. Cool, right? But it's kind of funny because there's been a lot of people that have said, oh, let's prioritise the Europa League. Let's prioritise it. Like we're such a big club and we can pick and choose what games we want to prioritise. Now we've been knocked out, and fair play to Olympiacos, by the way. They fully deserve to beat us over 2 legs. They shouldn't have lost last week, and they fully deserve to beat us last night. And now it's, oh, well, we can still get 4th. When are people going to stop chatting bollocks? When are people going to stop chatting shit, seriously, and start saying it as it is, which is what I've been doing all season. Yeah, all season. Yeah, I'm not sticking it on him last night, Arteta. I'm not sticking it on him because, and that's why I weren't so angry last night, because I've seen this story a million times. I've seen these same bunch of useless players down tools and pick and choose when they want to play football matches. And they've all got a little bit comfortable again. Oh, look, we're playing well. We've won 3 games in a row. We've got our feet back under the table. The fans are all on side. Granit Xhaka's gone back to Granit Xhaka that he was earlier in the season. Mustafi, I gave him a 5 last night. I think that was harsh. Yeah, I thought about that today. I think that was harsh. He done 2 jobs last night. He was playing right back and he was playing centre back because we didn't have a right back on the pitch. Yeah, we had a fashion model walking around the pitch. Yeah, what was he doing? No, seriously, what was he doing? Yeah, disgusting performance, right? And like, I know Arteta's got to try and keep these players going to try and finish as high up the table as we can. But let's be real here. The amount of abuse I get for saying we ain't getting top 4, we ain't going to do anything this season, get rid of these players. And it's, is Ozil proving you wrong now? No, he's proving me right. And I think he's proven a lot of people right last night, again, with that dead performance. Granit Xhaka's proving you wrong. I've had that one that aimed at me since Arteta's been here. Granit Xhaka's proving you wrong. Yeah, really? Granit Xhaka proved me right again. And the reason I said I'd bin him in January. What was his performance last night? Well, you have a couple of good performances and you think you're the man again. You know, and this is the problem with this squad. We had 5 players last night. We had Bellerin. Well, he ain't even a player. We had 4 players in a fashion model. So we had Bellerin. And I know Bellerin seen my video that went viral as well. I know he see that. Yeah, the one I did about him. I know he see that. So we had Bellerin, Mustafi, Granit Xhaka, Mesut Ozil, Alex Lacazette. I'm not going to throw Aubameyang into that, but if you throw Aubameyang into that, that's 6 players that played under Arsene Wenger. Yeah, 6 out of the 11 that started. 6 players that played under Arsene Wenger, and we're expecting different results because they got him sacked, they got Emery sacked, they didn't bother turning up for Freddie full stop, and now they've had a couple of good results, and it's yeah, we've made it again. We've made it. Who cares? I'm getting my money at the end of the week anyway. It's payday today for them probably, and they're going back home, and they couldn't care less. The only 1 or 2, actually, I lied. There was 3. That can walk off of there and say they played well. And I said this in my player ratings last night. Leno, I've seen people blaming him for the goal, the second goal. David Luiz, watch it back again. David Luiz ducks out of the way of the ball. What, are you scared of a football, mate? Yeah, seriously. Bye. See ya. You're surplus to requirements. Yeah, if you're going to duck out the way of a football, yeah, then see ya. Goodbye. You know, and I just find it shocking how our manager can come out and say he thought they played well and he's proud of the performance. You're proud to lose. Is that the mentality? You're proud to lose because they done all right. Well, they didn't do all right. We got absolutely embarrassed. And do you know what, right? I said this on the watch along with Chig last night. Big up Chig, by the way. And everybody who's watched that. That's nearly on 60,000 views, which is probably going to be the highest viewed video on the channel, sadly. And it's off an embarrassment. But yeah, I said on that watch along last night that, you know, these players have down tools so many times for so many different managers, right? And I said it before and I'll say it again. When we stop overhyping these players, it's just like maybe we'll come back down to reality of where we actually are and how crap this team is, right? And the fact that we beat Olympiacos last week, we robbed them. Let's be real. We fully robbed them. They did not deserve to lose against us last week. And I didn't care because we beat them. And I thought, right, that's 1 foot in the next round. I'm sitting there going 5-0 win. Yeah, I'm going, there's no way they're going to score 2 goals. Well, maybe this toxic channel, this toxic negative channel, maybe shouldn't have been so overhyped about the game, thinking, yes, we're going to batter them. Because I keep getting told I'm toxic, I'm negative. Maybe a lot more people have woken up last night after that. Because everything I've said, I stand by. Yeah, 90% of this squad need to fuck off. They need to leave. Yeah, the manager, I still don't think he's the right guy. Said it from before he came. I've liked every single press conference he's done. Every single press conference. He talks a good game. But ultimately, he's in charge of picking the team. And the team he picked last night, for me, was good enough to beat them, which is why I didn't stick anything on him last night. The one thing or the 2 things, it took forever to make his subs. What are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing? Wenger used to do it all the time. You could see they were overrunning this. You could see they're going to get a goal. And they'd sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there. And then as soon as they get the goal, go, oh, let's make a sub. Well, why didn't you fucking do that 10 minutes ago? Yeah, and Arteta did the same last night. They score a goal. That should have been the point straight away. Just make the sub now. We should have done it 10 minutes before that. And the fact that our player of the month, can somebody explain this to me? Our player of the month has barely played in February. How? You need a goal. you've got Martinelli on the bench and you bring him on in the second half of extra time. And he done more in that 5 minutes first 5 minutes when he came on than Lacazette did for 105 minutes. Yeah, seriously. Where's Eddie Nketiah? Like, listen, I don't think he's great, but why weren't he in the squad after scoring at the weekend? You know, and these are questions that I want answering. And people go, "Oh, you're toxic, you're negative." No, I want to know the answers to these questions, because to me it makes no sense. You know, you've got Maitland-Niles, who's been decent at right back, and now he's benched, and he weren't even in the squad for the last 2 games. And we're playing a fashion model at right back, who has not been decent since probably 2015. Like, come on. So how's he walked straight back into the team over a guy who was playing really well at right back? I don't understand it. You know, then you've got the midfield. You've got Mesut Ozil, who's got, well, listen, Bruno Fernandes, yeah, again last night was absolutely class for United, and fair play to United. They've shown, and Wolves, who by the way have got Olympiacos. They'll beat them. They'll show us how it's done. By the way, because despite playing the most games out of any Premier League team this season, their fitness levels are still really high, and they're still beating teams. I know they lost on the night, but they slapped them up 6-3, and now they're going to go and beat Olympiacos. Man United have got to pass into the next round, because there ain't no way they're losing to LASK. Who even are they? Do you know what I mean? Some Austrian team, yeah, but they're both going to get through. And do you know what? I suppose in a way it done us a favour, because we would have ended up with Wolves and we would have got embarrassed anyway. So it done us a favour getting knocked out last night. But like, I just look at it and I think, like, there's so many things that have been wrong. Like last night, I don't like, listen, the team last night, that team should be beating Olympiacos. But over the grand scheme of things, since Arteta's been here, there's too many questions every starting 11. And like, you know, and some of these players, Granit Xhaka, why has he been undroppable for 4 managers? Like literally 4 managers now have said, "Yep, you're starting every week, mate." Why? What is it about this guy that 4 different managers think is decent? You know, last night, what was he doing? Yeah. What was he doing? Mesut Ozil again. What are you doing? I know he put the ball in for Martinelli, but 1 pass in 120 minutes doesn't mean you've had a good game, does it? Or actually, maybe it does to all the little virgins out there with their Ozil pajamas on, sitting there going, "Oh, he put a pass in, he gets a pre-cum assist." But I just think it's like that for me last night is up there with the Europa League final. That's how embarrassing it is. Yeah, we got slapped in that 4-1. And that was to a team that had qualified for Champions League already. And then last night, for me, that was equally as embarrassing. I know it wasn't a final, but to lose to Olympiacos at home, Jesus Christ. And like I said, Mikel Arteta saying he's proud of the players. He thought we played well. It's not easy, was his words. It's not easy when they've got 11 men 20 yards out from their goal. Well, do better. At one point, we had Joe Willock, Aubameyang, and Lacazette all within 10 yards of each other on the edge of the penalty box. Not one of them made a run. Not one of them moved. They're all in a line on the edge of the penalty box. Why is nobody making a run? Only a few players can walk off of that pitch last night and say, "Yeah, I've done all right." Pepe was miles ahead of everybody last night. Yeah, some of his passing was poor, his final ball and that. But he was the only one having a go. He was the only one that was getting the ball and scared the shit out of him. You know, and Aubameyang's goal, wow, what a finish. And his face summed it all up. He's gone. And if anyone thinks he's staying, you're deluded. Yeah, genuinely deluded. Yeah, if that geezer stays, he's got no ambition. Seriously, because we ain't going anywhere. Yeah, so if I was him, I'd be packing my bags and saying, "Boy, I'm off. Yeah, I'm going to go and live in Spain. I'm going to go and play for Barcelona, yeah, or Real Madrid, whatever." So, and Leno, listen, he didn't really have nothing to do apart from picking the ball out the net. He made a great save, a couple of great saves. That was about all he had to do. And that's, yeah, they're the 3 players. I said I gave Mustafi a 5. I think that was probably harsh looking back on it now, because he was doing Bellerin's job as well. So maybe I should have given him a 7, because he was literally doing 2 jobs. And I just find it funny that, you know, watching Arteta's interview and some of the crap he came out with. Yeah, literally some of the crap he came out with, for me, confirms what I thought anyway, that he ain't the guy. Yeah, he ain't the guy. He talks the talk, he can't walk it. Yeah, and all the time he's picking these players, the wrong ones. I mean, last night, like I said, that team should be beating them, so I ain't even sticking it on him about his starting 11. But we all knew that Eddie Nketiah would be dropped. I said it the other day. I actually said I'd put £10, I'd give 10 quid to charity if Eddie Nketiah starts up front against Olympiacos, because I knew he wouldn't. So why did he start against Everton? You know, why does he start against Everton? And then he scores against Everton, and your reward for that is not even being in the squad. That makes no sense. You know, Lacazette went 9 games without a goal, doesn't get dropped. He then scores 2 in 2 and then gets dropped. No sense. That makes no sense. Then you've got Bukayo Saka, who's been our best player for weeks, was on the bench at the weekend, and Kolasinac starts. Why? Oh, but he needs a rest. He's just had 2 weeks in Dubai. Some of the excuses people come out with, he needs a rest. He's saving him for Olympiacos. Yeah, well, that went well, didn't it? Yeah, that went well. How comes Granit Xhaka never needs a rest? How comes Aubameyang never needs a rest? You know, how comes David Luiz and Mustafi don't need a rest? How comes Leno don't need a rest? You know, the excuses people come out with to back their stupid blind agenda is just laughable. At the end of the day, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Arteta's out of his depth, right? I hope I am wrong, but I don't think I am. I genuinely don't think I am. And the fact that he's come out with that about, oh, I was proud of the team, they worked really hard. He must have, he's either lying, well, he is lying because we all watched the game and they weren't working hard. And he's proud of that. So is he lying about that just to keep him up for the next game? Or does he genuinely believe that? Which we'll see when he picks his starting 11 for the next game. Well, actually, it's Portsmouth, so it'll be a different starting 11. When we play West Ham, we'll see, won't we? Because I don't understand how you can take Eddie Nketiah from Leeds United, who couldn't get a game, beg him to stay and not go out on loan, and then he scores at the weekend and then he's not in the squad. Why? Why? Why is that? I personally think that they've said to Eddie, we know Aubameyang or Laka, one of them are going. This is your pre-season. You can stay in and around the squad. You can get used to being with the first team. You can have a few games between now and the end of the season, because I personally think they know Aubameyang's off. And but again, how can you then pick Eddie Nketiah over Martinelli? That makes no sense. Martinelli's bagged 10 goals this season, and now he can't even get a game. Why? Do you know what? For the best of his career, leave, mate. Leave. Yeah, because I love him to bits. I think he's an absolute baller. So why can't he get a game anymore? Player of the month, you know. Player of the month, and he can't get a game this month. That makes no sense. No sense. And you're getting dropped for a guy who couldn't get in Leeds United's team, and for a guy who can't score a fucking goal. Yeah, for 9 games he couldn't score a goal, and you're being benched for that. You know, that makes no sense to me. There's a lot of things that Arteta's done since he's been here that I've just looked at and I've just thought, boy, you are out of your depth. But our fans do gas up these players. Granit Xhaka's back. And I said this on the watch along last night, that people are so hyped about some of these players' performances in recent games. Whereas I'm looking at it going, yeah, they've just gone back to the level that they were when we signed them, which weren't fucking good enough anyway. You know? Just because Xhaka's played well for 8 games, whoopie-doo. He weren't good enough in the first place. And it still pains me that we didn't go and buy Kante when we could have. We bought him. Like, some of the decisions at this football club, fucking seriously. People say, oh, it's a good run club. Arsene Wenger run the business so well. No, he fucking didn't. No, he didn't. You do not allow players to leave for nothing. You do not allow your best players to leave for half the price they're worth. Do not allow your best players to run their contracts down, so then they're in the position of power. That is not good business sense. You know, you do not allow a £50 million Aaron Ramsey to walk out for free. You do not allow our best player of a fucking, for as long as I can remember, Alexis Sanchez, to be swapped for Henrik Mkhitaryan. You don't allow that if you run your business properly. And listen, it's not all Wenger's fault. Gazidis is culpable as well. Raul. People still think that Arteta was first choice. He weren't first choice. He was the cheap choice. And he was the yes man choice. That's why he's the manager. Because, like I've said before, I'll say it again, they looked this board at Man United with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and hardly any of the fans have turned on Solskjaer, and he's done worse this season than Jose Mourinho done in any season. The results are worse. This is their worst start for 30 years in the league, Man United, or the worst up to this point for 30 years. If Jose had done that, they'd all be crying for him to go. But because it's a club legend, they've given him a pass. And the board looked at that and thought, right, let's get an ex-player in. Oh, I know. Let's go and get the one that puts cones out for Pep. Yeah, because he played for the club. He was the captain when we beat Hull. Yeah, the fans like him. He'll be all right. Oh, and he's cheap. Oh, yeah, he costs half the price of fucking Jose or Ancelotti or Allegri or Rafa or anybody else, Simeone. Yeah, we're going to get him. We're going to get him. The fans will be sweet with it. And you know what? They've had a lot of people over about because a lot of people have just gone with it regardless. They haven't called out any results. They haven't called out any players being dropped. Lucas Torreira, why was he dropped? Why was he dropped? For a guy who couldn't get in the team, by the way, Dani Ceballos, couldn't get in the team at all. Yeah, and now he gets in the team over Torreira. Again, another mind-blowing, baffling decision. And I just look at it, I said this millions of times, no other manager other than an Arsenal manager, Emery, Wenger, Freddie and Arteta, all four of them have played Aubameyang left wing at some point. Yeah, when Aubameyang leaves, watch him play up front and slap it for the next team. I don't get why we're playing him up front. Rickard, I'm going to block you from my channel. Go and cry into your Wenger pyjamas, mate. Yeah, unlucky. Stop moaning. Yes, how dare I moan? How dare I moan? Yeah, my team have just been embarrassed again. Yeah, the manager's out of his depth. The players are shit. How dare I moan? But it's all rosy because Rickard, who's never been to a game in his life, says it's all rosy. Yeah, get out of here, man. Anyway, that's enough ramblings. Let's read some of your comments. No way Jose or Ancelotti lose this tie to Olympiacos. Well, Jose did nearly lose to Olympiacos, but they were 2-0 down to Olympiacos. And guess what? They done them 3-2. Who do you think will win the Europa League? I think it'll be Inter against Man United in the final. Wouldn't it be funny if Alexis Sanchez and Lukaku scored the goals? That'd be hilarious. Nobody is the answer with this defence. I disagree. I disagree, mate. Lee, I feel sorry for you, says Tom. Do you work? Yeah, this is my full-time job. Full-time job, mate. George says Wolves could win it. Well, listen, Wolves could win it. Yeah, they could genuinely win it. They're a decent team. Again, I would have took Isma, their manager as well. Espirito Santo. What a manager. You know, what a manager. League position don't lie. Exactly. Players to get in the summer. Mate, I'll take you over any of them right now. You have to look long term. If Arteta gets United, let him build a team. Says Uncle Dubious. Listen, mate, I've been looking long term since 2002 when I was told we're going to move to the Emirates to compete with Europeans elite. We're now in 2020. I'm done with waiting. Yeah, I'm done with waiting. Not only that, we've got, apparently we don't invest. Oh, he needs backing. He needs backing. Yeah, we don't back our managers. Well, please tell me why we've got the most expensive front four in the Premier League then. Pepe, 72 million. Lacazette, 50 million. Aubameyang, 60 million. Mesut Ozil, 42.5 million. There ain't another front four in the Premier League as expensive as that. Yeah. Then you've got £35 million Granit Xhaka. Then you've got £35 million Mustafi. Yeah. Come on, seriously. Yeah. We've spent so much money on crap. Our wage bill is the same as Chelsea's. We've got the fourth highest wage bill in the Premier League. We've outspent Liverpool. Outspent Liverpool on net spend by double in the last 5 years. And they've only spent £27 million gross more than us in that time. So how comes Liverpool have got a decent team and a decent manager and we ain't got a decent team? And have we got a decent manager? We don't know, do we? Inter will win it, says Omar. Do drive the likes up on this video. I would appreciate that. Thank you, Dean, for your donation. You need to be patient. But mate, exactly. This positivity crew, I don't know where to get it from. Genuinely. What's to be positive about? We've just been embarrassed by Olympiacos. Yeah, we've just been embarrassed by Olympiacos, and oh, you're not allowed to have a moan. Well, why? Why? What, are you happy with that then? That kind of sums up the mentality. Yeah, if you're happy losing to Olympiacos, mate, Jesus Christ. Yeah, then you deserve people like Wenger and people like fucking these players. We need to get rid of these shit players. I ain't even entertaining you. Get out. See ya. We have mismanaged the money. How many more years do we have to be patient? Exactly. People have had enough of it, mate. Yeah, genuinely, people have had enough of it. I know people that went to that game last night. One of them messaged me earlier saying that's the last time he's going to a game all season. Yeah, and if they don't go and do what's required in the summer, he ain't renewing his season ticket. He's had enough. He's been going for 25 years. Yeah, nice old fella, really nice old boy. He messaged me, he ain't going next season unless they go and buy some players, proper players. Olympiacos go against Wolves in the next round. Yeah, I know, man. I know they've got Wolves who are absolutely slapping. Can I get a shout out? There you go, G Star One South. Eddie is not registered for Europe on the UEFA website. Jesus Christ, is that true? Is that genuinely real? Eddie Nketiah is not registered. Which makes it even more laughable that Martinelli took an hour and 5 minutes, or 105 minutes, sorry, to come onto the pitch. Arsenal is finished. Bruv, the club's been finished since we left Highbury, mate. Yeah, and people sit there giving it, oh, let's finish above Tottenham. Oh, like that's a trophy. Yeah, it's a trophy. St Tottenham's Day. We have been sliding away from them, down the way, and they've been coming up the way since 2008. Yeah, let's be real here. The gap's been getting shorter and shorter and shorter until the fact they've now overtaken us. You should get a hair transplant, bruv. I'm moving like Mane right now, bruv. I've got real bad hairline. This club's killing me off. Don't forget El Nenny's coming back. Oh, he's like a new signing. Would it surprise you if Mikel Arteta said, well, he might have a future? Or Mkhitaryan? Oh, he might have a future. Because he said it about Mustafi. He said it about Granit Xhaka. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come on. We know Mkhitaryan's going to start a game next season. It's embarrassing how many players that we need to change. Yep, it is. It is, mate. It is. Pepe never goes on the outside. He did a few times last night. He did a few times. He done some mad bit of skill. Yeah, and then skinned the next guy, but then the cross was crap. And it's like, sometimes he's kind of ahead of where he actually is. His brain and his feet are not in line at times. It's kind of mental. Arteta said everyone has a future at this club. He did actually say that as well. He did actually say that. He didn't say it last night, but he said it when he first came. It's a clean slate for everyone. So Mkhitaryan and El Neni is them. Arteta must have drank out of Ty's water bottle or smoked Summer Troops' weed. Seriously, man. Thank you for that, Stephen. Appreciate it. Give it time. Why? What are you waiting for? Can I ask all this give it time crew? Yeah. Can you tell me what exactly you're waiting for? Give it time. Give what time? Our squad costs about £450 million. What are we waiting for? Are you telling me that squad is not better than Wolves? Yeah. Are you telling me that? Because if you are telling me that, the next sums it all up then, doesn't it? Yeah. Because their squad cost half of that, probably less than half of that. And they're a much better team. Yeah, so that kind of shows where we've wasted all our money. So I don't get what you're waiting for. Oh, give it time. Well, what are you waiting for? Are you still going to say that in 20 years when we've still not won a trophy and not won a title for 35 years? Liverpool fans were giving it, oh, give it time, give it time. Yeah, guess what? It's took them nearly 30 years to win a league title. Well, I don't know one boo. I don't know if they did, to be fair. Did they boo him last night when the game finished? Do you know what? That was mental as well, because that watch along, yeah, that I was doing, I was like, I watched Aubameyang's goal as it was happening and that, and I'm like, yes. And then all the Man United fans rocked up. They were waiting. They'd all come in, and then Aubameyang scores an absolute scream, and I'm like, don't even compare him to Trashford. Yeah, getting all gassed up. And then Chig's like, yo, you know they've scored, right? I was like, shut up, man. Because I was trying to put the clip of the goal out. Like the celebration from me and Chig. I was trying to put it out, but it wouldn't let me do it. And he was like, you know they've scored, right? I was like, no, I don't. He was like, because I hadn't seen it. I was about 20 seconds behind it. I was like, fuck off, you're on a wind up, mate. But there we go. Declan says, I've been supporting Arsenal since 2007 when I was 7. Now I'm 20 and yet to see us win a big trophy. I'm sick and tired of waiting. Well, there you go, mate. There you go. Take up golf or something, mate, or table tennis. It's less stressful. You'll end up with a hairline like this. Only Aubameyang, Martinelli, Saka, Pepe and Leno, Tierney, Torreira are eligible to wear the badge. The rest are not good enough, says Abdulhamid. Afternoon to you, buddy. All of them, apart from Torreira, yeah, Torreira can go. He can go. Because let me ask you this, yeah? Torreira, for me, should have started the game. But other than that, like I said, the team that started should have won anyway. It was capable of winning. But would Ndidi be dropped from Leicester in that situation? Would N'Golo Kante be dropped from Chelsea in that situation? Would Fabinho be dropped from Liverpool in that situation? Nope, they wouldn't. So that kind of says it all, doesn't it? 2 or 3 managers have binned him off and dropped him, yeah, for a big game. And the biggest game of the season was last night for us. And he was dropped for that, for Dani Ceballos. Are you mad? So, yeah, he can go. Bye-bye. He ain't as good as people think he is. He is not as good as people think he is. And do you know what makes it even funnier? Is that when Unai Emery was dropping him, the meltdowns. Oh, you can't. Oh, why are you doing this? Why are you not playing him? I've not seen one person have a go at Arteta. Not one person has had a go at Arteta for dropping Torreira last night. Why? Oh, because it's Mikel Arteta and he sat next to Pep for 4 years. What does that mean? You get a pass on every bad decision then? Yeah, because when it was Unai Emery dropping him every week, everyone was going into meltdown. He don't know what he's doing. He don't know what he's doing. Yeah, guess what? He got us to the fucking final, so he does know what he's doing. And again, the players snaked them. We'll lose our hairline by the time we win the title, bruv. I'm going to be bald like Pep or Zidane. In fact, I probably won't ever see us win a title again, mate. Atlas Lion says, Arteta ain't the one in my opinion. I agree, mate. I said it before that. I've been abused non-stop. Yeah, I'll stick by it. He's out of his depth. He's out of his depth and he's relying on some of these dead players, mate. It's no coincidence that Mesut Ozil has played, I think he started 13 out of 15 games since Emery's been sacked. Can somebody tell me how many of them we've won? Yeah, I remember a certain group of people in the Arsenal community saying that if we play Mesut Ozil from now to the end of the season, this was last season, we'd get top 4. Guess what? We did that and we didn't. Yeah, and people are still pinning their hopes on this guy. This is the same guy Jose used to hook off after 60 minutes 9 years ago at Madrid. Now we're playing the guy for 120 minutes 9 years later. Yeah, seriously, come on, man. The geezer's dead. He's been dead for years. Lee Talks Facts. I've only been following this YouTube channel for 2 months, but Arsenal are very poor. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. I just say what I think. And if people don't like it, I genuinely couldn't care less because I ain't changing for anyone. I had somebody message me the other day on it, on a comment going, now you've got a big platform, you should kind of sit on the fence a little bit. Well, why? What, to please a few people? I'd rather be hated by a section of this fan base for being fucking real and saying what I think, rather than sucking up to everyone and being friends with everyone and not saying what I think. Because I'll tell you something, yeah, there's a fucking lot of people, I ain't going to name and shame them, yeah, but there is a lot of people that say one thing off camera and another thing on camera, yeah, there's an awful lot of them, yeah, and eventually you'll get sussed out, yeah. I don't need to say who they are. It's not the people you think it is either, by the way, because DC and Troops ain't the ones you're thinking I'm talking about. It ain't them. Big up them, by the way. But there's an awful lot of people that go on social media, whether it be on camera, Twitter, Insta, whatever their platform is, and say something completely different in group chats and something completely different to their mates outside the football stadium than they do when they're on social media. And that is to stay friends and be nice to everybody. Fuck that. Yeah, I'm staying true to my beliefs and myself. And I ain't going to sit here and side skirt over issues just to keep everyone sweet. I don't need friends. I've got my own friends. Yeah, I've got my friends. I don't need to make friends with everybody. Yeah, I don't need to do that. So I would always stick to what I believe. And this is why I get the ump, because some of these people also call out the board, the owner, the players. Yeah. But I look at it and think, right, well, hang on, you're doing exactly the same as what some of these ex-players are. And I got a bit of abuse the other day for saying that Robert Pires, Ray Parlour, Nigel Winterburn and Ian Wright are all on the fucking gravy train. They all know the crack at this football club. But because they're all getting paid a fucking little bit of money, they're getting flown over to fucking Greece last week. Righty. Oh, Ian, right. Yeah, fucking Ian, flip, flop. Yeah. 1 week Wenger in, next week Wenger out, depending on what TV channel was paying him. Yeah. Oh, fucking seriously. Yeah. Robert Pires never says anything bad against the football club. Why? Oh, because you won't go to the fucking pre-season tour wearing the Arsenal shirt, will you, my friend? Nigel Winterburn went on Sonny's podcast the other week and told Sonny in no uncertain terms, I am not answering questions on this season. Oh, why is that, Nigel? Why is that? Oh, of course. Yeah, you won't get your fucking freebie lunch every match day, will you? Yeah, sick and tired of it. Ray Parlour, another one. Yeah, sits there and never says a bad word against this football club. He never calls out anybody, and he knows what's going on at this football club. He knows the fucking shit behind the scenes, but that won't get him a free trip to Singapore with the fucking club, will it? Yeah, and I'm sick and tired of it. When you watch Man United ex-players, they rip United apart. Yeah, when the time is right, they rip them apart. Yeah, because they don't give a fuck about a lunch or a flight to Singapore or a flight to Australia, because they care about their football club. Yeah, these players, ex-players, a lot of them, yeah, don't. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Tony Adams was banned from the football club under Wenger. Yeah, he was only allowed to go there on media duty. I don't know if that's still the case, but he was banned whilst Wenger was manager. The last few years under Wenger, Tony Adams weren't allowed at the football ground unless he was on media duty. And that is a fact. I wish I got paid $350 a week for playing a PS4. He's done. Well, he is. Yep. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I've been rambling on for 37 minutes, which is longer than I wanted to do this for, but there we go. Yeah, Roy Keane. Yeah, can you imagine Roy Keane? Can you imagine somebody saying, oh, Roy, because you've got a big platform and because you're on ITV or because you're on this channel, Sky Sports, yeah, probably best you don't say certain things, mate. Sit on the fence. Yeah, that's what people say to me. Oh, because you've got a platform and you shouldn't say certain things. Go fuck yourself, man. Yeah, I'll say what I think and I'm never going to change. Yeah, and if people don't like it, that's tough. I'm saying everything I believe in and everything that I see in my opinion. Arteta's out of his depth. I can't blame him for last night. But going forward, he ain't going to take us where we need to be. ZPZ Life. I disagree with that, mate. I totally disagree with that. They go to every game, man. Robbie goes to every single game. And anyone can go on it. You could go on it. Anybody in here could go on it. There's 444 people. You could all queue up in a line. He'll let you all on. Arteta can take us forward just really slowly. Well, why are you judging him on 2 months? Mate, I judged him before he walked through the door because he ain't good enough. He's got no experience, and that showed again last night with the substitutions. It's the only thing I can blame him for last night. But it's funny because I keep getting told you should back the manager, you should do this, you should do that. Yeah, whilst that's great and whilst that's cool, and whilst I predicted a 5-0 win, can we just drop that one in there? Yeah, before people start giving it your negative and toxic. I predicted 5-0. I said we were going to batter them all the way through the game. I was saying, don't worry, we're still going to beat them. Yeah, there ain't no way they're scoring 2 goals. We're going to slap this team. That was a dead first half, but Chig, don't worry. We actually played better in that first half than we did in the first half against Newcastle. And we scored 4 in the second half. We're still going to beat them. So when all you little knobs come in my fucking chat and start giving it, oh, you're toxic, just go back and watch that, yeah? Just go back and watch that, yeah? Yeah, and go back to last week when all the way through that game when we were dead in Greece, yeah, I was going, don't worry, Chig, we're going to nick this. We're going to nick this, mate. Yeah, we've got this. We've got it, mate. I'm fully confident we're going to win, yeah? people don't see that because they want to take one little sentence. At the end of the day, I am not going to change my thought process until somebody proves me right or wrong. Yeah. And sorry, proves me wrong. Right. So what has Arteta done for me to change my mind on him? What's he done? Nothing. All he's done is confused the life out of me with his team selections every week. And if Unai Emery had done what Arteta does every week, chopping and changing the team, which by the way he did, and you lot that are telling me to be positive and back the guy, were all slagging Emery off for doing exactly what Arteta's doing. All hypocrites. Yeah, all new people that are telling me back Arteta. It's only 2 months. A lot of you were slagging Emery off after 2 months because he didn't know his best 11. Yeah, so don't come with that chat. Seriously. Unbelievable. Thank you, DJ Crane, for your donation. Appreciate that, buddy. Funny that a Wenger signing turned manager only wants to play other useless Wenger signings. This aura of Wenger, this Wenger, that has ruined the club. Do you know what, mate? It's no coincidence that that a lot of people within our fan base are sitting there getting gassed about 5th place. This is coming from the manager that they started supporting the club at, that sat there in a press conference. I'll never forget that day. I was out working. I was in St Albans that day, and my mate, he's a Chelsea fan. My mate said to me, he goes, "Have you heard what Wenger said today?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Because I was in a customer's house." He goes, "I've just been sat in the car having some lunch." He goes, "Wenger said 4th place is a trophy." I said, "You what?" So I'm typing away on my phone on Google search. 4th place is a trophy. That there brainwashed thousands of divs across the planet. That now, oh, but he got us Champions League every year. Yeah, we never won it, so who cares? Yeah, never won it, so who cares? And that mentality is a wash in this fan base. Yeah, and until people start saying it as it is, demanding better, and actually trying to do something about getting it better. And that includes the ex-players that I named a minute ago, by the way, because like I said, every single one of them 4 players, they could not give a fuck as long as they're getting paid to fly around the world, yeah, by the football club. Yeah, and I'm sick of it. Yeah, I'm sick of that. And if people have got a problem with me saying that, tough, don't watch it. Simple as that. On that note, I'll be back at 5. Hopefully I would have calmed down a little bit by then. Yeah, we'll be back at 5. I will be back at 7 as well for members on level 3. If you want to become a member, go to the link in the description. You can fully check that out. So there we go. But thank you very much to everybody who's watched. And like I said, I don't blame Arteta for last night, but he ain't the man to take us forward. I said it from the start. I still stick to it now. Anyway, I'll be back at 5. Have a wonderful Friday afternoon. Laters.